will start now. Okay, so last few days we saw about React, and so what's that understanding? React is one of the JavaScript UI framework, right? So, but it is not a fulfilled UI framework like Angular. So there are a lot of third party. They provide some contribution to React to make it as a full bit for fulfill the complete UI framework. So Next.js is the one of that client side application or server side application. The Next.js provides the complete UI framework for a React application using React applications. So what is Next.js? What are the advantages of Next.js? So as we saw that React does not provide any features for their application by its own, but Next.js provide various features for React application. The top 5 features are, the one is routing, and another one is data fetching in client side and both server side. And rendering means it provide various options. One is server side and another one is client side and both, and various styling optimizations and performance tuning. So these are the special features that provided in Next.js application. So we will see it how it is working. So we will see it everything. Okay. So before Next.js, who are using this Next.js? As I already told, Next.js provide server-side rendering as well as client-side rendering. So in common, when you see that client-side rendering application like JavaScript UI framework, Angular, React, or Vue, only runs in executed in the client side. So whenever it needs some data, it depends on server side, it will pull the data. But Next.js provide that both. So in our first example, we saw that what is server side rendering, what is client side rendering, how it is happening. So Next.js provide more features, and these are that users of React application. And you see that React is number one. Next.js is number one React framework. So what is React means? You can say that it is JavaScript UI framework. So what is React? What is Next.js means? It's React UI framework. Okay. Specifically, the Next.js application used in entertainment side. So you see that Netflix is the one of the users of Next.js application, and TikTok and many more, HBO, AT&T. These are that uh, application consumer of Next.js application, and also it used in marketing side. It's more usage. Target is one of the biggest retail chain organization in the US, and Nike and more. And also you see it in traveling. Ticketmaster, United Airlines, one of the biggest airlines in USA, Hilton, and news media. It is more for powerful consumer of in news media. So where it can suitable for this Next.js application, you can consider that Next.js application is mostly used in middle type of, that is mid-level organization. They are using these Next.js applications. Okay, we will see how this Next.js will be working. Okay. Okay, how we can create that React application? It's a command tool, create React app. So similar way, we can create a Next.js application also. Instead of React, create Next app. Okay. So in React application, when you create, you need to provide the additional features. For example, React, it's by default it's a JavaScript, but if you want to change that default language to TypeScript, you have to provide that additional parameter. Here it will ask the choice. Okay. That is npx. Sorry, npx. What does it npx? Okay, it asks the app name. I provided just test app. Okay, then it asks us what type of script. Say it says you want to use. I say it yes. Okay, then it asks us to use ESLint. ESLint is it's a compile checking. So I go for default option yes, and it asks us a Tailwind CSS. Tailwind CSS is nothing but it's a CSS library. Okay, I will go with yes by default option, and then it asks you need to a source folder or it not needed. So I go with default option yes. And also it asks that app router. So in Next.js, it's provided two way of routing mechanism. One is page-based router and another one is app-based router, app router. So it is recommended one is app router since page-based routing is used a little bit earlier times, but now they recommend to use app router. So I want to go with app router. So custom is the default import place. I by default is no. I will go with default options. Okay, basically that uh, JavaScript UI application like React, Angular, they are all configuration based application. But Next.js is a little bit different. It's a convention based application. It means convention means nothing but the rules are already defined. You have to follow the rules. Okay, that's the convention. But the convention can be changed by the change the configuration. So that is called as a convention over configuration. Okay, we will see it. It is created. Now what we will do, and to open that application, you have to use VS Code. It's a command to open that. Uh, okay, now it has been created. Okay, we will see that folder structure. Okay. TS configuration.json is a TypeScript configuration. You don't need to change anything. It will be as it is like. And Tailwind. So Tailwind is it's a default configuration for Tailwind. So it's a, CSS library. And post CSS config.js. It is also used for protection, not in development, for Tailwind configuration. Package.json, it is for packages. What are the packages used in the Next.js application? Similarly, package log.json also doing same thing. Next configs for configuration. It's a kind of you can change the configuration for Next.js. As of now, we don't want to change anything on it. Okay. And what are the types can be available? That is part of next nv d.ts. So these are that configuration files. We don't want need change anything. So we see that source folder. Okay. Okay. How we can run this application using terminal? Okay, to run that application, the command is npm run dev. Okay, it is executed and it hosting on localhost 3000. See how it is working. So today we are seeing about that routing concept in Next.js application. It's a default feature. We don't need any configuration for that. Okay, how it is working? So it looks at that app folder, right? It may be a source folder. We can have it or not. It's a optional one, but the application looks app folder. App folder is a starting folder for that Next.js applications. Okay, so then it's a router based, right? So router is nothing but it looks the folder under this app folder. So here we do not provide any folder, just we call that local host 3000. So it is referred to app. In this app, it's looking for page tsx, right? So if you provide anything like another other than that page.ds, it will not recognized. So it's a convention, right? So in app, it should be a page.tsx. It's a page for that initial application of the Next.js application. So it looks for the page tx. What is there in the page tsx? It rendering here application Next.js, right? And also we have that layout. Layout is, you know that layout is the wrapper of that specific page. So here we will provide add additional things for that. How it is working. So you see that here, it's first loading that layout.js and it looks for the children. Children is nothing but page tsx. So it's the default behavior of Next.js application. It looks for that layout, whether layout is there, then it render layout, then it looks for the children. Children is nothing but page.ts. So it will render again. Okay. So this is the order of application render in Next.js application as a root app router. Okay, we will see some additional example. So I'm going to create a new page, that is home page. So for create a home page, what I need to do, I need to create a new folder and a app folder. Okay, I'm going to create new folder, that is home, right? Then to create a page for this home, I need to create a page.tsx, right? So here I So to create a component, you have to use React. That is, Next.js is on top of React. See what is happening. So I need to call home page. Okay, that page is changed. Now it is a home page, but layout coming from the app layout, right? I'm the default layout. So it loads first, then the looks for the page, that is a home. Home page is looking for that folder, home folder. Under this home folder, it looks for page TSX. But you have to create a layout for each folder also. We will see another one example. So to create a layout for page, you have to create a layout tsx. You have to have the same name. Layout is for layout and page is for page. You can't change anything. If you provide page.ts for next, what is will happen? We will see it. Okay, I'm the default one, but I'm not able to find the home page. That's the error. So you have to have the same name. That's the convention of Next.js. So see that I'm the default layout from come from app layout, and then it looks for we have that layout tsx. Then it render a home layout. Under the children, it calls it the home page. So this is the way of routing is working in Next.js application. You don't need to do any configuration. It's a convention based. You have to follow the steps. Then it will create automatically. So we will see some more example. I close this application. So any doubt you can let me know. Okay, we will see some sample. So as I said, Next.js supports two types of routing. One is app router and page router. Page router is little bit outdated. So the recommended routing mechanism is app router. We will see that. We saw that folder paste page and layout. Okay, I run this application, sample application. Okay, it's run. Okay, see this list of menus. How we bring this menu? See it in okay, it looks for that page.tsx, and also there is a layout.tsx. So it first execute layout.tsx, and in the layout.tsx we have that component called app menu. Okay, in the app menu we defined everything. So those menus defined in our app menu component, right? And then we called our children. Children is page.tsx. So this is the app index page. So if you want to navigate from one page to another page, you can use link method, link component. That is the way defined in the account transfer. Everything is a link menu, and also it's calls that navigate to specific pages. That is moving to next pages. So I'm going to click account page. Okay, account page is loaded, right? So if you want to user navigation, you have to create a link and provide that path and in the href. So it is used to move the one page to another page by the users. Okay, we will see it what is in the account page. So for account page, how it is working, it will look for that account folder under the app folder, and it execute page.tsx. Similarly, transfer, will pay. So everything is look for that card management and page.tsx and cache management.tsx. Okay. The next item is use path name. Okay. Here you see that when we click specific menu, it changed the color, right? It became a purple from pink. That is which menu is active, that menu became a purple color. Rest of the menus are pink menu. How it is changing? Using this use path name. Okay, use path name, return the current path name. Based on the path name, we identify which menu needs to be in purple or which menu needs to be in the pink color. So we defined the two types of CSS properties for active menu, non-active menu. Okay, all right, you got it. So any doubt, you can let me know. Okay, so the next item is we will say loading and streaming. For example, we are here, see that. So we click that employees. So I click this employees, what is happening? It's trying to load that employee page, right? So it looks for employee folder and check for page.tsx. So it's a server pages, server components. I will see explain that later in what is server and what is client component. So it looks for user pages and we are calling that get demo users directly. So here making a 4 seconds will be waiting, right? So whenever the page is waiting for something loaded, then it try to run that loading.tsx. Okay, so here we have not do any, we didn't do any configuration, but it's automatically taking care of whether this component is try to get something and waiting for some time, then it's try to execute loading.tsx. So see that example. So it's so for 4 seconds, right? So it's another one convention. Whenever that any specific page have the loading tsx and it takes some time, then it will try to execute this loading tsx first. Then the data is available, then it will show that page.tsx. That's the purpose of loading. And streaming is nothing but when you see that some example. Before make it ready, that skeleton is ready first, right? So it does not wait for data. First, it make it as a HTML ready, then wait for data. Once data is available, then loading the data with component. Similar way, you can use that suspense, what we saw in React suspense for streaming something. For example, here. So it's come from layout and suspense. So you can define your UA component and wait for some data and then load it. It's a way of streaming. Streaming is one of the important feature in Next.js application. That's based on Netflix, other media or other newspapers. They are doing this kind of streaming. So streaming is one of the feature in Next.js application. I do not have much sample. I just show you how it is working. Okay. Then error handling. How it is error become handling in Next.js application. Okay. Okay. Look for this one. So we call that error pages. So in these pages, we just throw one error. So whenever the error happen in the package, it looks for that error.tsx file. Then it's loading that message. Okay, it's error throw. You see that it's a default UI provided in Next.js application to view this error. So something is not handled, what will happen? You see that. So it should be that file name would be error.tsx. So application will be hanged, right? Then you throw an error and will be hanged. So to avoid, you need to have that error.tsx, it's an automated one. Okay. Similarly, you have to provide your app level, your layout level, and even you provide that global level error handling. Okay. Okay. And see that some example here. Okay. Say employees, right? Employees. So we are calling that get demo users, and what is happening, and we are trying to navigate to user detail page. When you click this action to view, so it is try to navigate to new pages, right? So what is there in the user detail? For example, I'm clicking this Santosh. Okay, employee data will be shown. Just we are showing that employee detail, and also we are trying to get employee detail using this get employee detail method. These are all server methods because it is we mentioned it a use server in top of this file. So we will see it. What is that server side component and client side component in rendering features? We will see it. Now we directly call that server method. Okay, in this server method, I click this for to view this Sathik detail. Okay, what is happening? Okay, if it is employee ID is 1, then I rewrite to account method. If it is employee ID 2 is, then I rewrite to bill pay. So I have the employee ID 1, 2, okay, and 3, 4, 5 are rest of working as it is without any redirect. But when you click this employee ID 1 and 2, then we are redirect here. So go to account page. To transfer page, right? I'm trying to move to bill pay, but bill pay move to transfer page. How it is working, we will see it later. So the difference between redirect and permanent redirect, it's also uh, redirect from server side, not from client side. Client side means you have to use a router method or something else. But in server side, it's directing. The difference between redirect and permanent redirect is redirect is the HTTP status code is 307, and for permanent redirect is the HTTP status code is 308. So 307 means it will have the history, and 308 means it does not have a history. That's the difference between these two items. That is being supported in Next.js application in server side, that redirect and permanent redirect. Okay. And router grouping. What else the other features we have in routing? Okay. See these two example. You can group that folders based on your convenient. See this. I want to access this page.tsx in material info. See that root, how the root is working here. So I want to go route slash grouping. It doesn't match anything. It's moved to some other folder. For accessing this page.tsx, that is material info page. Okay, now we are getting that material info. What is happening when you create a folder within that bracket? It's considered as a grouping. So in ASP.NET, you have that area controller, something like that, right? Similarly, you can group your folder without disturbing any routing structure. Here, material is not part of our routing. Similarly, you want to call supplier info. You can call supplier info without affect our roots with that suppliers folder. Okay. Okay, supplier info page. So this is the concept of grouping. Grouping is nothing but you can define your folder with open bracket, close bracket. Then it is not considered as a routing. You can define your routes based on your convenient. That is a called concept of router grouping and route eligible. So you see that we have a lot of folders. Okay, we'll see what is the eligible and private folder. So what is private folder? You can create a private folder under the because you create any folder, then it become a part of route. So you want to create some specific private folder. It cannot be used to find you others with the help of that routing concept. You can define your router with hyphen. Hyphen you create when you create a hyphen folder, then it's considered as a private folder. It cannot be accessed. So we'll see some example here under the route. So now see that it access that test pages. Route test, it access the route test page. When you provide the name with hyphen, then it become a private folder. It cannot be accessed anymore. Okay, it moving to some other page. How it is moving, we'll see it later. Okay. Okay. Then dynamic routes. What is dynamic routes? We will see. Okay, in this route, it is routing. I call this local route. It's trying to look for that route. Any page.tsx is there. It is not that, then it is returning say 4004 error. You can customize this also 404. Nothing, and there is no page, then it throw one 404 pages. Okay. Then I call that group So it's for checking group, then it displays that route group pages, right? So I'm going to grouping. Grouping also doesn't have any page.tsx, then it's a 404 page error. To call material or supplier info, it's throwing error. Okay, dynamic pages means you can dynamically capture the root S. How it is? You need to create a folder with 3 dots. That's the dynamic route. It catch all the routes. We see that. Okay, it doesn't have anything. Okay, now I give something. So what is happening? It looks for route page. If doesn't match any routing, then it looks for the folder. That is three square bracket with 3 dots. Then it's called as a dynamic folder. It dynamic pages. If the route is not matched with anything, then it goes for dynamic pages. See that pattern. So I'm giving something like that. Okay, it captures all the routes like this route router and whatever we had given in the route, it capture all this. So it's called as a dynamic route. So if nothing is matched, then if the page is the root folder, the page, app router is looking for that anything, any folder like this 3 dot, then it will call this page. That's a dynamic load. Okay, used to catch all. Then parallel route. Parallel route is nothing but okay. For example, you want to create some pages like with one specific layout. It have multiple sections. That is, for example, consider this: you are creating a one page layout page with header and footer section. In middle, it's called say a body. Body is a dynamic pages. So other than that, header and header. Other than that, body header and footer are static pages. So nothing matched. Then it return a 404. Okay. You see that if any folder start with at, it's called as a parallel folder. Similarly, it looks for that parallel, look for the page. And if it is a layout is there, then it's a high priority, like layout takes layout and looks for that me and you. It means it looks for that anything, it's matched with any parallel folder, then the page will be loaded in this section. Okay. So it is me page and U page means that is your page that combined together in your layout. Me, you, and children. Children is comes from the page. So you consider this header and footer and body, right? This concept is called as a parallel. So any doubt, you can let me know, ask any question. Okay. The next thing is route handler. So for example, when you create a application, a React application or Next.js React application or Angular or Vue, they are all client side executed. That for example, when you create a Vue application, all the codes, all the source code will be executed only in client side. So if you want to have any data, then you need to call a API calls. The API bring the data for your application. But Next.js also provide API calls. That is called as a route handlers. Okay, route handler is nothing but similar way, whatever folder we have created, similar way we have to create a API. API is a convention folder. API, you can't call any API in page folder, but API is a route folder. Okay, you see that? Under this API, I have created test. Then it became a test is a one of the API endpoint. Okay. In this test, I have a route.ts. Okay. We will see it, how it is working. We test, right? Okay. See this. It's a API call and returning our data in a JSON format. So in your application, you can create route.ts. It considers API endpoints. So the concept is when you create any JavaScript based application like Angular, so you need to have at least two applications. One is for client side, another one for data side. Data side is nothing but API. You have to create a API in Node.js or something else. Otherwise, you can call your data from your client-side application also. But what happened? You have to expose that specific user ID password for database or API calls. You need to expose your endpoints. The users, the mail user like Murugesh or Dinagaran, they will tamper your application and look for that API token and user password. But Next.js provide one more security level, that is a route itself. So the one application will have both API calls and also HTML pages. So it's provided additional security for your application. That's the concept of uh, endpoints now part of your Next.js application. The one application will provide both HTML pages, that is UI, and also in data. So in Route.js, you can bring all the concept like get, post, all other headers, whatever headers available, you can bring it. And also you can provide security cores and uh, what else? Middlewares and so similarly, what will available in ASP.NET Web API or ASP.NET Core Web API. Similarly, you provide all the concept. At this point of time, I don't want to go inside in a route. It's a route is one of the feature in app router. That's what I want to mention it. Okay, another one is middleware. Middleware is nothing but whoever are in ASP.NET framework, they know about it. That is a filters like auth filter, authorization filter, authentication filter, error filter. So this will be the filter is executed before or after of your specific route. Similar way, middleware also here working is in working in uh, Next.js application. In .NET Core, we have that concept middleware. Similar concept we have in Next.js application also. Middleware, we have to create a middleware in under the source folder. Okay. So middleware, what is happening is just interrupt your control focus of your application. Okay, I click for bill pay. Okay. When I click middle anything, any menu, so what will happen that it looks for middleware first. If the path name is bill pay, then it transfer to transfer page, right? I'm clicking that bill pay, then immediately it transfer to transfer transfer page. So when you can't access this bill pay, right? Similarly, you can provide your authentication logic here in server side. So Next.js supports both server and client side, but middleware used in the server side. Okay, and also it looks for filter the your control. Okay, and also Next.js provide internalization and localization. I did not provide any sample here. So for example, you have multi languages like English, Spanish. Based on your browser, you can that Next.js application find out your language and provide the specific localization. For that, you have to create that folder with bracket EN means English, ES means Spanish. So it will identify those internalization or localization folders, locals, and render the specific pages. Today we almost covered most of the feature in up router. Any doubts you can let me know. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this next day is app router. Tomorrow we will see, not tomorrow. Next session is data fetching. It's another one important feature in Next.js application. The data fetching is provides with uh, uh, strong caching. So how it is working, we will see it in there next day. Thanks for watching. So any doubt, you can let me know. Thanks. Thanks to all. Bye.